Hi, Coach Laurel here. Welcome to Expanding the Second Journey, Part 3 in this series. I wanted to share a personal story with you. My sister once invited me to attend a self-development seminar, and in this seminar, they asked everyone to get up on stage in front of, I think there was 100 people, and share the truth of who we were. Or there was something along those lines. I actually don't recall the exact request, but I do recall the stipulations. The stipulations were that they would not allow you to get off the stage until they told you you were ready. They would self-identify this, and then you could excuse yourself. So for me, this exercise was absolutely terrifying. I was so shy and introverted. I love teaching, but speaking on stage in front of 100 people gave me huge waves of anxiety. So immediately I went to my defenses, I went to my brain, and my defense mechanisms kicked in full gear, and I thought, I can crack this code, I can figure this out. I can get myself off that stage as quick as I can. So I studied everyone that went up, and I noted when they were invited to step down from the stage. And then, voila, I figured it out. I cracked the code. They were letting people off the stage as soon as that person smiled and joy was glimmering in their eyes. And I thought, whew, okay, I'm safe. I can smile and I can get off this stage super quick. Well, what happened next surprised me. I got up on stage. I shared my truth. I smiled. The facilitator smiled back, reflected back to me what I said, and it just hit me. My truth meant so much to my heart that all of a sudden I started to truly light up. All of a sudden it wasn't fake, and I was radiating from within. I felt what I was sharing, and this sensation took over my entire being. I began actually laughing with joy on stage at what was happening within me. And that was an awakening for me. And I then understood what it was that they were actually doing. I was coming from my heart at that point before I was in my head. Course in Miracles teaches us that fear is a state of mind, whereas love is a state of being. Will Smith shared that his grandmother always said that God placed all the good things in life on the other side of fear. I have found this to be so true. As we expand our second journey, we learn to lean into and trust our inner guidance and our inner knowing, that inner compass. We all have one. We also learn how to move from fear-based living into love-based thriving. This is what the second journey is all about. So I promised you I'd share more about how to expand into the second journey. And I've got a few tips to give you to get you started. So one actually comes from a book that it's called Jesus in Blue Jeans. It was so cute. The author, Lori Beth, talks about how ducks preen their feathers. And in doing so, they put an oil slick on, and this is what allows them to stay afloat. So I looked it up and learned that the duck's feathers, if they didn't have that oil slick, the water would get in there and they would actually sink like a brick. So this allows the ducks to stay afloat throughout the day. We're not much different when it comes to our own personal power, being aligned with who we are. So have you ever woken up and you just feel off? It can be so powerful to set your day up by figuring out what's going to help you rise above for that day. So for many of my clients, this is a spiritual morning practice. It doesn't even have to be extensive. It can be as little as 5 minutes, but something, qigong, a prayer, could be reading a spiritual text, something that allows you to show up in that day aligned. And if you do that, let's say 5 days a week, you're going to notice some changes in how you're showing up in the world. You're going to be able to stay in that second journey, staying in your heart and being able to listen to your inner guidance that much easier. I had a client that she decided to commit to that morning spiritual practice, and it was going great. It just really helped empower her. And then one day she called me in crisis, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just feeling so overwhelmed." And, and I stopped and I thought, "Did you do your spiritual practice this morning?" And she said, "Oh." So that's just one example. If that resonates with you, I invite you to give it a try. Other ways to expand into that second journey are to adopt spiritual practices or start to work with a personal coach. A well-trained coach will know exactly how to help you expand and design purpose and outcomes for your whole journey. So enjoy those tips. I hope this series was really helpful for you and illuminating. If it was, I would love to hear how it impacted you. Please feel free to comment or reach out. If you love teachings like these and would love to help empower other people's lives with similar concepts and processes and perspectives, I invite you to get to know us. We're the Institute for Integrative Intelligence. We offer ICF accredited coach training programs here to help you create a thriving coaching practice.